Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most compelling stories in tech right now, AMD's huge multi-billion-dollar bet to fight for the top spot in the great artificial intelligence gold rush.
I mean, this is a story of an absolutely incredible turnaround, some truly visionary leadership, and a really high-stakes gamble on the future of computing. So the big question is, how on earth did AMD get here, and where are they headed next?
To really get what's happening now, we have to rewind the clock. Because believe it or not too long ago, AMD's story was looking very, very different. The company was in a really tough spot. I mean, its products were just struggling to keep up, and there were serious questions about whether it could even survive in the cutthroat semiconductor industry. This wasn't just a bad quarter, it was an existential crisis. This whole turnaround story really points to one person, Dr. Lisa Su. She came on board in 2012 and then took over as CEO in 2014, right when the company was at its absolute lowest point. What happened after that? Well, it was nothing short of remarkable. Her leadership isn't just about her technical genius, though she does have a PhD from MIT. It's really defined by what the source material calls a relentless will, and this core philosophy: learn from your mistakes, adapt, and just never, ever give up. You know, that spirit is what completely transformed the company's culture. So, that incredible turnaround really set the stage for AMD to go after the single biggest opportunity in technology today: artificial intelligence. So check out this number, a projected 49% jump in revenue year over year. That isn't just steady growth, it's explosive. And it's pretty much all being fueled by this insatiable, never-ending demand for chips that can power AI. So what's their strategy? Well, it's a classic challenger playbook. AMD isn't trying to sidestep the market leader, NVIDIA. Nope, they're going right at them. The plan is pretty straightforward. Offer chips like the MI355X that give you comparable or maybe even better performance, but at a much lower cost for those really crucial AI jobs. But here's the thing that makes AMD's position so interesting. Their bet isn't just on one single AI chip. They're seeing record sales for their Ryzen CPUs and PCs and their EPYC CPUs and servers. In fact, they are the only company on the planet with leadership in both high-end CPUs and GPUs. And that gives them a massive strategic advantage. Okay, now here's a fascinating little detail. Some analyst reports are suggesting that AMD's official forecasts might be playing it a bit safe. They might not even be including over $1 billion in potential revenue from selling certain chips to China, even after you factor in possible tariffs. And you know, geopolitics plays a huge role in all of this. The company's actual gross margin is sitting at 43%, but without the impact of U.S. export controls, that number could be as high as 54%. That's a massive difference, and it really shows you the kind of external pressures they're dealing with. Of course, a bet this big is never a sure thing, so let's take a look at the pretty significant hurdles and risks that AMD has to navigate. All right, first up, can they actually deliver their next-gen MI400 chip on time and in the massive quantities the market is screaming for? Second, they're up against NVIDIA's incredibly powerful software ecosystem, which makes it really hard for customers to just switch over. Then you add the uncertainty around government policy in China and an expected sharp drop in their gaming division, and yeah, you can see the path forward is definitely full of challenges. So you've got this massive opportunity on one side, and some pretty serious risks on the other. What does it all mean when the analysts take a look at the company? Well, according to an analysis from Goldman Sachs, AMD is seen as being in the early part of the optimism stage of its market cycle. Now, historically, this phase has lasted for an average of about 21 months. So what that suggests is, even after this impressive run they've had, there could still be significant room for growth ahead. So let's put some numbers to this. At the time of the source report, the share price was our baseline, $172 a share. From there, the average analyst target price lands right around $183, which suggests the market sees it as pretty fairly valued, but with some room to climb. But then there's the bull case. If the AI boom just keeps accelerating and AMD executes perfectly, some analysts think the stock could actually challenge its all-time high of $227. And so this is where we land. AMD has the leader, It has the strategy, and it definitely has the momentum. But in a race this fast, it's not just about catching the person in front of you. It's about defining the next lap of the race. So the question isn't just can the underdog win, it's whether their unique advantage, having both top-tier CPUs and GPUs, will let them change the race entirely.